Would you like to hear a story of complete and total failure? The story is mine. Its events are mine. I am actor and antagonist alone on this track, running, ever running towards something. It's distant, ever distant, untouchable, but I can see it, I can smell it. It's right there, taunting me. A finish line of sorts. I watched 100 meters. It's something special, something really special. It's about running, yes, but it's also about purpose and life and the course we chart as we live day to day, moment by moment. You see, there comes a point in every human being's life where they must decide what it is they wish to define them, what it is about the world they wish to define, something which gives them richness and texture as an individual human being, but also something that they, you, we as humans give ourselves to also. That we give texture and depth and richness towards. What is it? What was that thing for you, that first moment you realized that you had discovered something that you would gladly give your life to, or are you perhaps still searching? 100 meters is about running, but more so it is about the why of running, the why of anything, why we as humans do anything at all, why we participate in anything at all, commit ourselves to anything at all. Each of the characters in 100 meters has a deeply personal relationship to running, to the 100-meter sprint, but for each of them it also means something completely different. It's interesting because in a lot of the scenes of the movie, the characters barely seem to be talking about the same experiences, the same event, the same action and act. It's like, although they are all human, and more specifically all runners, they are fundamentally unable to communicate with each other, unable to break through the barriers of their own little isolated worlds with words alone. Why does Togashi run? He runs because he was fast as a kid, faster than all the others. Does he love it? Well, yes. No, sort of. Sometimes it's complicated. Perhaps it was something he was praised for. Perhaps it was something he did because he loved it. But time passes, your hunger, it fades, doubt creeps in, weakness becomes obvious. Now you're older, yourself is tied up in it, that thing you loved. Now you don't do it just because you love it anymore, but because it is who you are. What you are nothing without it. And if you have given your life to it and it's given you nothing in return, then where does that leave you? I think Togashi's story is the most relatable one in 100 meters. The burnout, the exhaustion, then the rebirth. The discovery and rediscovery of why it is he does what he does. It is magical, depressing, reinvigorating, and I think his choice at the end of the story is touching and raw, while covered in a thick layer of complete insanity, because he chooses, even though he is injured and even though running will destroy his body, he still chooses to become a lightning bolt. There is nothing to fear, nothing to doubt. This gift, this ability, this thing I have given myself to is mine, and now that I am losing it one way or another, I am going to choose when and where it vanishes forever from my flesh. And all of that is wonderful, but it's not just Togashi who is this fascinating, but all the other characters as well. Take, for instance, Komiya, who runs in this insane, desperate gait all through the story, running because it is the only moment where the world around him vanishes completely and he can be free of himself. He runs to outrun himself, to outrun records, to break records, to become someone or something other than himself. And it's kind of inspiring, while also being almost repulsive to watch, because the way he runs, the method, there is this frenzy to it, a madness bordering on self-destructive desperation. Or perhaps another character like Nagami, who runs to make his father proud, for praise, to be a monolith of a human being who never breaks, nor bends, nor bows. How long can you do that for? Seems like a pathway to getting burnt out to me, to turning to ash and blowing away. Or perhaps you run like Kaido. Kaido is the runner you want to be in many ways, I think. Delusional or hopeful to the point of complete madness. Why does he run? Why does he move? When every statistic and micro spark of reason would point to his time being done before it ever got started, he runs for something simple, to break free from reality, to escape it. You see, people will have expectations of you. They will put their beliefs onto you. What is right, what is wrong, what you can and can't do, what you should and shouldn't do, what is and isn't possible for you to do, and statistically, much of it be true. Kaido, as a runner, denies any and all of humanity, any and all expectation. All of reality to him is something for him to outrun, to escape, to move so quickly that he manufactures his own universe and his own truth to sprint against the entire world until he wins. And that is, to put it mildly, insane. It doesn't make any sense, but don't you want to do that at least a little bit? Don't you want to move against a river, against the sea and ocean and the storm clouds of heaven above, and persevere until you create the world that you see for yourself in your mind's eye, in your heart? I want that. I want it so badly. I am screaming out for it. But how? I am weak. I am pathetic. I am soft and anxious, and I doubt. But I can delude myself. You see, I can work on something even if I know it doesn't make sense, if I know I'll regret not doing it later, because regret is a worse feeling by far than fear. Fear I can eat, fear I can kill. It's a feeling of now and of the future. It is here or it is arriving, and so I can strangle it, dice it into sashimi, and swallow it whole with a quaff of plum wine. But regret, that is a far harder for my claws to catch. Kaido runs to escape this reality and to create a new one. Maybe I won't be able to metaphorically run quite so fast, but I am going to try. I think I will dedicate my life towards the things that I love and care about, because what other way is there for we to live? I would regret living any other way. Do I feel sad about that? Of course, yes, sometimes. I wish the world was a more stable place. I wished I liked and cared about more traditional things. I regret doing what I do sometimes, but I know from experience that I would regret not doing it even more. And all of this badness and desperation and ambition and delusion and dreaming leads us to our final point and character. You see, what is it that defines you? What is the thing that you have built up your sense of self around? And all of that is something I find really beautiful, because here is the thing. We are ourselves, but we are also our senses of self, and the thing we define our senses of self by. And what is that sense? What is that thing? That little shard of something that got lodged like a barb in your soul until you gradually absorbed and grew some membrane around it. Moral belief, a physical strength, a talent at a game, a sense of humor, a beauty. What is it? What is that thing that makes up you other than memory and experience? Do you have an agenda, a political belief, a vision for the world or yourself, a journey, a rival, a struggle or fight? Do you love your family? Do you love your friends? Have you partner or a paramour? Children, offspring, adopted or linked via blood? What are you? What is it that makes up you? And that thing, do you have a healthy relationship to it? When it got lodged inside you, did it become one with you, make your bones and skin stronger, yourself taller and more profound? Or is it itchy, infected? Are you trying to tear it out and failing because it is no longer a distinct and separate entity, but a part of yourself regardless as to its origin? 100 Meters is special because it is a story which in some ways becomes more abstract the longer you look at it, as if the simple act of attempting to focus triggers some unknown survival strategy and causes it to unconsciously elude you. Are you confident in that thing you define yourself by? Does it hurt? Does it feel good? Does it feel at all? Can you survive without it anymore, healthy or otherwise? Or is it something that is going to take you apart, swallow you up, and leave nothing behind? I don't even want to tell you any plot points. I don't even want to tell you any details. No characters, no moments, nothing that could be tied back as a spoiler. I want you to experience this movie, this film, this thing made by human hands and human minds and human hearts. I want you to experience it yourself, for yourself, you. I can only tell you how it made me think, how it made me feel. I can only attempt to articulate the perfect little moment that it crafted in a world that so often feels less. I have something I cling to. I have something which I have probably given too much, that I have fed myself to little by little. It's writing, it's this, it's a book I have been working on for far too long. It's close now, close to being done. I've said that before, but this time it feels different. The last round of prototype readers have it in their claws and are picking their way through it as I write these words, as I speak these words, as I edit together this malformed essay and export and upload it for you all to listen to. I was excited to hear back, frightened, nervous, but I think it was a more positive feeling than a negative one. One of them got back to me about the prologue chapter. I was excited, thrilled. I've rewritten and recreated it more times than I can count. Surely the work will make itself shown. The effort, the struggle, the time, the literal life I have poured into this paper ink digital homunculi. They said it was fun, and it felt like an overly edgy light novel, self-indulgent and with a drop of embarrassment and half a hair of shiver-worthy secondhand cringe. And oh man. I wonder if this is as far as I go. Maybe the effort I put in isn't quite enough. Maybe whatever meager talent or skill hasn't been refined or accumulated enough. Having something made with sincerity be met with a reaction like that is truly frightening. It scares me. It is the reaction that terrifies me more than anything else. Surely, everything I have done, everything I have spent is worth more than the feeling of a cute story about OCs. I am very scared. I haven't had a panic attack in years, and yet I feel one building at the back of my skull, like my whole being is made of glass and I am about to shatter into 1,000 bleeding pieces and be found that way by whoever comes by. There is a limit to my skill, a limit to my ability, a limit. I hate it. I hate limits. I'm struggling against them even now, each moment, each instant, each heartbeat. I want to be taken seriously. I want what I make to be taken seriously, and yet perhaps I am not a serious person. Perhaps I am better suited to be a fool. Maybe no matter how much I struggle or improve, I will never be able to break through to the other side of whatever it is I am trapped inside. If this is reality, I want my writing to allow me to create a new one, a new life for myself, a new circumstance, a new feeling. I want to surpass the version of me that went to sleep yesterday and become something new. I've been telling myself that when I release this book, if I'm unsatisfied, that I will give up writing forever, find something simpler. I don't actually know if I would be able to do that, though. I don't actually know if I could give it up anymore. Another part of me refuses. If I release this book and if I'm unsatisfied, then maybe I'll just set to work on the next thing, whatever it is. Maybe I'll just keep struggling and straining until something in my brain finally gives out. Which is more frightening to you, do you think? Giving it up, that abstract thing, or refusing to give it up? Most people have said, don't worry about it. It will be what it will be. Just move on to the next thing. If this fails, whatever fail means. I'm not sure they understand how my brain works. There are other people I have given this thing to read. Some advice good, some bad, some really excellent, some less so. Some have really loved it. Others tell me they will read it over and over and never quite actually manage to get through it. I ask why. They say they are getting to it, will get to it. You don't have to keep telling me that. I'd rather you just tell me the thing about it that was off and putting off or didn't seem to work. Was it prose, plot, character, something else I cannot see? Maybe none of that matters. This book, I'm gonna release it one way or another, even if I come to regret it, because I love it. I really do. I love it when the wall you've been scratching at with your bare nails finally comes down and you are granted a vista, a horizon of what is on the other side. Everything I have, I'll condense into this last stretch of time, regardless of outcome. Maybe all I have worked on will only amount to something no better than OC fanfiction, but hey, some people love that. Maybe that's what I'm good at. Probably not. But hey, I'm a delusional bastard. Truth be told, that is probably the only thing keeping me going right now. The delusion that this might work out, the delusion I might be able to remake a little part of my life by accomplishing this one solitary thing, that I might be able to escape the things that limit me. I'll condense it, everything I have, into this next moment. I'll get over the finish line. Everything else can be determined after that. If I was successful, if I was satisfied, if I feel pride or shame at what I've done, if people like it, if they hate it, if they don't even see it and it becomes buried in this endless river of time. Realistically, nothing much will happen at all. But who knows? What I want is nothing more than to savor this moment, these seconds, these days. I want to savor the anticipation before the moment of failure or triumph. I want to savor this final stretch before I shame myself or feel pride. I want to watch as someone reads what I have written and feels something, or else shrugs and feels nothing at all. That moment of coin flip where I can see if myself, my abilities, my work, my luck and fortune are enough. I don't know. I really don't. Let's find out soon then and see what happens. Maybe the result maybe it won't even be important. Maybe the important parts are those 10 seconds before the result is determined. 10 seconds of the most rich and intense feeling that life can offer. I'd like to savor it. That condensation of life. Why do you run? Why do you move? What is it that moves you to breathe? What is it that moves you to live? Why do you get up in the morning? To make people proud? To do something no one has ever done before? To make money, to make a living for your family, for yourself, for your country, for your God, if you have one, for your lover or friends? To make the world a better place? To make the world a worse place? Why are you here listening to me now? What choice brought you to this moment? Are you seeking advice, a lesson, an interesting thesis statement, a dance of a court jester fool? Zaitsu, the runner who retires, speaks clearly on this. Because in addition to all those other reasons for living, running, doing whatever that we have talked about, perhaps the most rich, the most wonderful and euphoric reason we can have for moving is the simple act of movement itself. Condensation and cultivation, your experiences and failures and successes, great or numerous or small and seemingly insignificant, all were pressed together inside your heart to create the being that is you at this precise moment. Condensation and cultivation, your experiences and failures and successes, great and numerous or small and seemingly insignificant, all were pressed together inside your heart to create the being that is you at this precise and exact moment. This moment. The best way to live, I think, is to savor it regardless of outcome. Striving to strive, living to live, running to run, that is what creates the finest moments of wonder in this temporary life. We will not always be this way. One day we will die, we will lose our abilities and return to stardust, and mayhaps some part of us will carry on or meet again or reincarnate or travel elsewhere. But in this moment and life, savoring each second, each bite, is what becomes all important. Struggling, suffering, agonizing, laughing, crying, screaming, dying, living, flying, these complete us as human beings and as stories. I doubt my own work every day, especially as I grow nearer to its completion. I wonder if it fails, will I break apart? Or if it fails, will I grow richer and stronger? Let's find out together, shall we? For ourselves, for you, for me, for I, for we, whatever, Let's see what you and I and we and all of us and everything are really made of. Let's test ourselves and savor the test. Let's fail and taste the sweet pain of despair. Perhaps let us succeed and reach the moment we all strive for. But more than all of that, I think, let us take satisfaction, humility, and savor each moment of this life as much as we can. I know it's easy to forget. I forget it myself all the time. I have to keep reminding myself. I have to keep coming back. I continue to forget and rediscover my joy of all of these things, which frustrates me because it means I have forgotten them if I've rediscovered them. One day I hope to reach the point that I no longer need to rediscover anything, that I can simply be. And all of that is my story of individual, complete, and total failure. It is the failure of my mindset, of my reality, which I hope to change and alter, which I hope to escape. Perhaps I will fail in all of that, but who knows? Until then, let's keep going, shall we? 100 meters more, just 10 seconds more.